Okay, I'm going to call this breaking news. I'm going to call it breaking news because I think it's kind of a big deal. As a matter of fact, it is a big deal. This just dropped while I was doing my live stream that a head coaching spot has been filled. And coming from Adam Schefter, this is a big deal, more than you think. Falcons plan to hire Rams defensive coordinator Raheem Morris as their head coach per source. Now, I just saw a tweet, I believe it was also from Adam Schefter, talking about the number of candidates that was interviewed by the Atlanta Falcons. Let me see if I can find it and bring it back in here. Should be, okay, nope, it wasn't him. So it might have been somebody else, but this is huge. Okay, it wasn't Rappaport. Okay, here it is. This is coming from Adam Schefter. This was after that initial tweet. The Falcons interviewed 14 different head coaching candidates, including Bill Belichick, Mike Vrabel, and Jim Harbaugh. We know Jim Harbaugh went to the Los Angeles Chargers, but it ends up Raheem Morris gets the job. Now you might be like, Derrick, what in the world does that have to do with the Detroit Lions? Well, after 7 or 8 coaching vacancies this year that were open, all but 2 have been filled. Those 2 are the Washington Commanders and the Seattle Seahawks. Now, from what the chat was telling me, Seattle might be leaning toward Dan Quinn. Okay. So, and I believe Ben Johnson interviewed for that. Now, yesterday I saw something that all made it seem like it was a shoo-in for Ben Johnson to go to the Washington Commanders. Like it was locked up. They're just waiting for the season to end or to announce it. And that could be true. There's been no word about it yet. I don't even know if the team can announce it, right? But here's what I'm thinking. There are 2 individuals that don't have a job yet. One is probably the greatest coach either of all time or definitely of my generation in Bill Belichick, and another guy that was unjustly fired by a lot, Mike Vrabel. He is still unemployed. Now, 2 spots remain. We know for sure that both Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson, both of them ain't getting a job. So, ladies and gentlemen, to my dismay, Aaron Glenn will be here. But that will give you and me the opportunity to see if it is indeed the personnel. I know he's not going anywhere. I always knew he wasn't going anywhere as far as head coaching job, but he's definitely not getting fired. Dan Campbell loves Aaron Glenn. Like, of course, during the season, he wasn't going to get fired. Dan Campbell loves Aaron Glenn like Brad Holmes loved Jameson Williams. It is a bromance that is strong. Y'all seen Predator? I saw it a long time ago. Don't show your kids, right? When Arnold Schwarzenegger and Carl Weathers, it's like, and they do that little, and the biceps is busting out. That's how Aaron Glenn and Dan Campbell are. So that leaves Ben Johnson. You have Ben Johnson, no experience as a head coach. Aaron Glenn, no experience as a head coach. I don't know if he interim anywhere. Then you've got Bill Belichick, who is 70 plus. So you've got that, but got like the greatest coach of all time. And then Mike Vrabel as well. So I'm going to make a prediction. I'm going to make a prediction that Ben Johnson stays. I said this a long time ago, that Eric Bieniemy, Ben Johnson might be the next Eric Bieniemy. Eric Bieniemy, year after year after year after year after year, every year that for the last 5 years, he has been the hottest until the arrival of Ben Johnson, the hottest offensive coordinator every single year to come out. And he's never getting the job. He's never got the job. Now he's the OC for the Washington Commanders. So could Ben Johnson pair up with Eric Bieniemy, the 2 of them together? Could, I don't know, Mike Vrabel pair up with Eric Bieniemy, go over there? So out of the 3 candidates that could be, I think it's either Ben Johnson, Washington Commanders, or nothing. I knew he wasn't going to the Panthers. I'm pretty sure. So it's either going to be Washington or nothing. But you have to look at Washington and say, the reason that I think it could be Washington is because they're going to pick a quarterback. They got like the number 2 or 3 pick in the draft. They got quarterbacks flying off the board the first 3. It's apparent that they need a quarterback, but they also need an offensive line. They do, because Sam Howell was like the most sacked quarterback in the league. So, and again, do you think Ben Johnson wants to go over there and deal with that? So I don't know. I'm going to make a bold prediction and say Ben Johnson stays in Detroit. Stays in Detroit at least for another year. And we'll go from there. Maybe the right spot hasn't opened up for him just yet. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Kind of got some breaking news, right? It's kind of breaking that another coaching spot has been filled, because I did hear Atlanta was coming up, but now there were only 2. And then there were 2. And it's either going to be Washington or nothing. Ben Johnson stays. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Do you think Ben Johnson stays Detroit Lions OC, or do you think he takes the job at Washington? Because it will only be Washington. I do not think he goes to Seattle. Their quarterback situation is okay, but I think Ben Johnson wants to be somewhere where he can build from the ground up, and he's got all the potential to do that in Washington. But it might take some time. Their offense is an offensive line and a quarterback away. So give me your thoughts. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. Imagine if Ben Johnson stays, our draft picks, our defensive draft picks, we going to be scary next year. But guess what? We ain't done this year. We still got 2 more games to go. Talk to y'all later.